with great reviews comes great responsibility. Too bad I don't know what great reviews are like. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Retro Waves Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Sandman. And I am a huge Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and so it just seems right that I do a review on Spider-Man for the retro figures. These are my first from the retro wave, and it also seems kind of convenient that it's both Symbiote Spider-Man and Sandman. But anyway, let's just get right on into the review by starting with the packaging. Taking a look at the packaging here, they both showcase a big open window showcasing the figures within. Nice little comic book artwork right here of the figures. It has the nice Spider-Man logo right there on the top with Spider-Man standing right there with the old retro Marvel Comics logo. And then here on the back here, they've got some readouts for both of the figures as well as some features. And then on the back of the Symbiote Spider-Man, because it's not an exclusive, shows the other figures in the wave you can get. And yeah, that is basically it for the carded backs. And here is taking a look at all of the accessories included with both Sandman and Symbiote Spider-Man. Symbiote Spider-Man comes with a pair of web-thwipping hands. He comes with a pair of these open hands or wall-crawling hands. And then he also comes with a pair of fists. I would have liked for him to have also come with maybe a pair or at least one grabby hand and also maybe some web effects of some kind, but it's just with the figure not being a little bit lacking in its accessories, would have liked that little bit extra. But Sandman, however, is not lacking in accessories. He comes with a nice, angry, normal head sculpt. He's got that nice kind of Norman Osborn looking hair. And then he's got that angry expression, like the teeth and the gums. Everything is painted up pretty well. I like the skin texturing and everything. And then same thing goes for that, only except on this sand head, where this is supposed to be an effect that you can use to make it look like Sandman is getting punched through the face or whatever. It's a really cool head sculpt, and I really love the implications of it. But again, I really love the sand texturing that went all over some of these sand parts right here. And these are parts that go onto his forearms, and they look really good, kind of look like some delicious cookie dough. And then he's also got this sand mace and this sandy fist right here. And then he's got a pair of regular fists when you don't have these on. So very good amount of accessories for Sandman, just wish Symbiote Spider-Man wasn't so lacking. Again, head sculpt looks really good, especially, actually on the figure. And he's got that classic shirt on where it's got the green stripes and they're on pretty cleanly. And then I like the molded in wrinkles. And then this entire body mold is the same one for that Luke Cage figure and the Hydro Man, and it's been reused multiple times, but it works well here for the Sandman. My only complaint is that here on the sleeves it cuts off right here, and all this skin is painted on, so I'm worried that this might end up chipping some of the paint, especially when you're sliding on and off all those sand pieces. And then the pants look pretty good. Again, it doesn't have the arms are pinless, but the knees are not. But again, the wrinkles and everything looks pretty nice. And then he's got those shoes those boots with the treads on the bottom. And then to attach those sand pieces, you take off the fist, and then you take this piece, this more thicker kind of looking one goes on this arm, and you just have to kind of fiddle it on there like so. And then you just plug this piece in like it's any other hand. And there you go. There you got Sandman with his sand mace right on there. And same thing applies for the other fist. And Sandman with his sand accessories always looks really nice. And I especially like this figure over that original Sandman Build-A-Figure from a couple years ago. Briefly going over Sandman's articulation, both of the heads can look up that far, they can look down that far. It is on that ball and disc hinge. The head can swivel from side to side, but it can't really pivot forward and backward too much, and it can pivot ever so slightly. Shoulders rotate a full 360. They can hinge out that far and down that far. He does get a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that bend really nicely. Wrists rotate and hinge up and down. Then with the sand fists on, it allows it to swivel, but no hinging. He does also get an arching back and a crunch. Waist swivel. Hips can move forward, they can move back, they can move outward that far. He does get a thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the ankles can move up, down, and they can pivot. So pretty good articulation on Sandman. And now taking a look at Symbiote Spider-Man, he does not come with any alternate heads, but the one he does come with looks pretty good, but it is pretty basic, but it is pretty good. I like just the plain black Spider-Man head with the white eyes. Simple, gets the job done. And overall, that's all I can really say about the entire figure. The entire figure has very nice muscle detailing and everything, but it really is just a plain black figure with tiny highlights of white in the fists, the eyes, and then this Venom spider logo going all across the figure. Also, one thing I want to mention is when these butterfly joints move, I like how that detail is not lost right there, so that is pretty cool. But overall, it's a pretty basic figure. I mean, what you see is what you get. It's just a plain black figure with the white, and normally that should be a complaint, but the black actually works really well in this figure's favor, because again, this is accurate to the comics. The plain black works really well for the figure. Going over the articulation, the head can look up that far and it can look down that far. Has this little cut back here that allows for the head to look up that little bit farther, for the head to look up as far as it can, because it's on one of those newer kind of dumbbell joints. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move outward that far. He does have that very nice butterfly joint. He does have a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, but they're not pinless. His wrists do rotate and hinge up and down. He does have a very nice diaphragm joint, which allows for arcing back, crunch, some side to side, and then for some waist swivel. And then he has an actual ab crunch, which allows for him to crunch even farther and arch even farther back. Hips can move forward that far, they can move back that far, they can move outward that far. And then he also has dropping down hips that shift, which allows for even more of a kick, more back, more outward, yada, yada, yada. He does get a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, a boot cut, ankles move up, down, and he gets ankle pivot. So very, very good articulation on this figure. I would say that it is its greatest, the greatest thing about this Symbiote Spider-Man is its posability. It is one of the most posable Marvel Legends out there, and I can see why that original Retro Collection Spider-Man sold out so fast. But again, I would have really liked to have gotten that figure, but I am glad that I at least got the Symbiote Spider-Man version. And now getting into size comparisons. Here is Sandman and Spider-Man compared next to the last Marvel Legends / Retro Marvel Legends figure I reviewed, the retro comic book version of Thanos. And then here they are with the last Venom Spider-Man villain figure that I reviewed. Here they are with that movie Venom figure, and I'm really glad that this body mold is being reused for that one Venom in that 2-pack. Really excited for that. Now, some of you might be wondering, oh, where's that Play Arts Kai figure of Symbiote Spider-Man that you reviewed? Well, if you were paying attention in that review like you should be, that wasn't my figure. That belonged to my friend, Red Warrior. And I'm not so sure if he wants me even touching his figure anymore. That is basically it for my review on the Marvel Legends Retro Collections Sandman and Symbiote Spider-Man. If I had to give a solid, honestly, I need to really give a solid opinion here. I honestly am a little bit disappointed with the Symbiote Spider-Man. As much as I love the mold and the Spider-Man and how posable it is, I'm still a little disappointed with the fact that it's missing a lot of necessary paint. Yes, that is comic accurate and everything, but if you're not going to paint it, you might as well, throw in some extra accessories. You could have thrown in some extra bits of spider web, or maybe some kind of web effect, or even some extra hands of some kind, or some sort of extra head, or just something extra that makes up for the lack of paint. But no, it just kind of comes with the general amount of hands that you normally get with someone else. Sandman, on the other hand, I actually really like because he really came out very well. I like how big and chunky he is. He's able to support his weight on his legs and the weight of the hand and the mace and I love that new head sculpt and just how much playability there is in that new head. And just overall, I just have no complaints about Sandman. The only thing I could really gripe about is the painted forearms, maybe some pinless joints, but again, that's just reaching for complaints. So anyway, if I had to give both of these guys individual ratings, the Sandman I give a solid 9 out of 10. Just those tiny little gripes is just keeping him from total perfection. And then Symbiote Spider-Man, I'm going to give him a solid 8 out of 10. Just because I'm a little bit salty that he did not come with any web effects of some kind. But anyway, that is basically it for this review. If you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys agree or whatever, be sure to comment down below what you guys think. Give me a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more Marvel Legends and action figure reviews. And I'll catch you guys next time.